Quickly, Commissioner. Send for the city records. Let's find out if anyone's opened an umbrella factory in the last 3 days. Naturally, you didn't know I was wearing my special Super Thermal B long underwear for extreme cold. Well, well. We've come a long way from the Prime Minister's exploding cake.
Excuse me, Mayor West?
How do you know my language?
Listen to me. My entire future is in your hands.
Are you Sarah Connor? Somebody's stealing my water.
It just went down the drain.
They're crafty, I tell you. It happens when you least expect it. Show yourself, damn you!
Damn it, Swanson, I want them found.
Mayor West, we have every available man looking for the Griffins. We just don't have any leads.
Not the Griffins, you moron! The rest of my light, bright pieces! My name isn't Adam Wee. Or is it? Who am I? What number did you dial? Don't ever call here again. I guess I told him, nobody messes with Adam Wee.
Lois, I smell whipped cream. Are you making strawberry shortcake? Ah! 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 Ah!
So it's a shouting match you want, eh? Well, game on, Quahog. Ah! 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 I'm beating you!
Singing is contagious. I'll sing too.
Adam West, Adam West. A little bit softer now. Adam West, Adam West. Adam West, Adam West. I'll come out when they're all gone.
9 billion names of pod.
From Atlanta,
at the center of the Boomiverse,
it's the 9 Billion Names of Pod with Dan Bauman and Michael Reed. I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm Bigger Boy.
So, let's talk about some stuff. Faux show. Hey, we're back.
Hey, how was that? How was that 2 weeks in cryo sleep? Was it good?
It was good.
Any fires? Any
no fires? No
parasites in the thorax area? Nothing.
No. All good.
Okay.
All good. Took our little summer break, and okay. You know.
And we're gonna do it again after this.
We are. We're gonna let some time build up just so we can. We're busy folk, kind of.
We'll probably continue it until after Dragon Con, and then we'll
see. Yeah,
we'll resume.
We'll probably get back on the weekly.
That's right.
So a whole bunch of stuff happened, good and bad, and
awful,
and we'll start there. We lost yet another of our childhood heroes. Adam West.
That's Mayor Adam West.
Mayor Adam West. Yeah. My first Batman.
Everyone's first.
Everyone's
just
first
about.
Batman.
I mean, unless you're one of those millennials, get off my lawn. Batman. Your introduction was
Adam West. Yeah, every day at 4:30 on I think it was WOR or WPIX channel 11. Those are the two local stations in New York, and they would show at night. They would show The Odd Couple and The Honeymooners every night, and stuff like that. And I think every afternoon at 4:30 it was Adam West Batman.
Now see, I remember seeing a good number of the old Batmans, but it wasn't like it was appointment viewing. I mean, I don't remember going, oh yeah, I've got to be around when it gets shown. I just happened upon them.
Yeah, it was just
throughout my youth.
It was one of those. It was like,
and wasn't it? It was actually an afternoon's kids show.
No, it was prime time.
Was it prime time?
Absolutely, yeah, it was prime time.
Okay,
and they would do.
Maybe it was afternoon kids show for me.
For me, yeah, it was.
Okay.
When that's exactly when I watched it. I would come home from school at I'd leave school at 3:00, and I lived a literal block away from my grade school, so I would get home at 3:05 or whatever and watch. There was afternoon programming, that weird Magic Garden thing I was talking about last time, the weird hippie chicks, and I don't remember what cartoons. I mean, things like Popeye, and I guess at the time it was like He-Man and that stuff. But at 4:30, I remember it was Batman, and I watched it all the time.
After school, I would basically freebase the power of Grayskull and.
I have the power.
Yeah, just don't take too much, because you know what happens. You become Skeletor.
Right.
Drugs, not even once.
Not even once.
So fare thee well to Mr. Adam West. Really, he had two big career, points in the pop culture: Batman, and then like 30 years later as Mayor West of.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, he had a career before that.
Well, it's like Leslie Nielsen. People are like, oh wow, a guy started acting such late in life, and he was funny in the airplane.
No.
Oh no, he was he was the lead in Forbidden Planet.
Yeah,
no jokes in there.
Right, and Adam West was a big Western guy, from what I remember. He did like a bunch of movies and like Gunsmoke and Bonanza, but he was just like a TV actor for a long time. And
television, slumming in television, and
got this pilot, and at the I had a total revolt against that. In the 90s when I became a Batman fan, and when the whole Dark Knight thing, like not the exact book, The Dark Knight Returns, but I mean the whole character renaissance of him becoming the crazed loner and all
right.
that stuff, and the more serious Batman, and when, especially in '89 when the Michael Keaton Tim Burton came out, because it was way closer, it wasn't hokey, and then you kind of looked, the Adam West kind of looked quaint and silly.
It was of its time, and I don't think the creators of Batman really approved. I wouldn't think.
No, I think Bob Kane's Bob Kane's name is on it, and it was before.
Well, yeah, money will change your mind real quick.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, and money is what kept it from being on DVD for 15, 20 years.
It was only a year or two ago that it came out.
Fine. Well, yeah,
because
rights were sold, partial rights, and they had to sit there and sift through all this stuff, and they finally got it to the point where everyone was happy, or at least legally were satisfied.
Right.
And then they could finally put it out.
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, Adam West was on the radio, and he was talking about a deal had finally, like, all that shit had been struck, and it wasn't the DVD Blu-ray thing he was announcing. He said a deal had been struck, and there was going to be a whole bunch of Batman 66 merchandise, like figures and toys, and
that's probably one aspect of sorting out the rights to the thing. There's merch rights involved in all that as well.
And it was not too long after that they announced the box set of the show and everything.
Because let's face it, the people that watch those as children in the 60s, they're aging out, and you got to get that box set of videos to market. Otherwise, they're not going to care anymore.
Yeah, and it was only 2 or 3 years ago when it's on one of those channels like Wii TV or Antenna, or one of those oldie channels that's buried deep in your cable.
That's where I go to get my golden girl.
No, that's on Hallmark Channel. No. I know that because
darn, you saw through my lie.
That's on my television all the time.
Oh, please tell me because of Courtney.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing against Golden Girls.
No, it's a brilliant show.
I've seen some episodes.
It's a brilliant show. That's almost worth revisiting, and
there's a lot of good archetype.
It's actually even way better than that. If you ever have the gumption,
really,
to have the time.
Yeah, I'm in the middle now of rewatching the entire series of Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
At a specific, right before bed, I watch one episode of Gilmore, and I'm making my way through, and I've come to like doing that so much. I've already, put down and say I got to rewatch MASH. I got to rewatch. Is
that available? Is that
MASH?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, like streaming, or do you have it on?
No, I have it on.
Oh, you have
all
discs.
11 seasons.
Oh man! But it was only in the last, like I said, 2-3 years, watching Batman again, that I understood what it was. It's the side, like, completely on purpose on Adam West's part. He was doing comedy. He was doing a character, as, and
he's not nodding and winking at the camera when he says things that are funny. He's more like Stephen Wright. Like, here is the joke with absolutely no inflection. Now you laugh.
Right. I'm going to play this character
Yeah.
so unbelievably straight that it's ridiculous, and it worked so well. I mean, going back and watching it, it's like I kind of want to get the box set. The Blu-rays are gorgeous. I've seen the remastered,
the A&B where they show you.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. And you know, that's the kind of thing that screams for it, because it was crazy Technicolor 1966, you know, like boom, pop, you know, and I'm sure it even looks better now on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah,
because the saturation of the colors and everything.
And we have Batman 66 to thank for the only funny thing in any of the Joel Schumacher Batman films.
Okay.
Holy metal Batman, huh? Holes in the metal.
Yeah, and even that is a bit of a
I was
stretch.
just like, ha ha. Oh, God, you just had to cram that in there, didn't you?
Nice try.
All right. Kudos. Not going to make up for
any of the rest of it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite...
Well, if I may.
Yeah.
Because of the Batman and Robin film, they originally were going to have Robin show up somewhere in the Nolan trilogy. And Christian Bale said, if Robin shows up in this, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I will not. I don't care where we are in the thing. No. They got him somewhat
sideways.
Sideways in the third one, but it didn't trip all the things that
he wasn't a sidekick.
He was, it was nothing like, you know, we're going to fight crime. Batman, like, he's a loner. He's a psycho.
Yeah.
It just, you know, he's like Dexter in the sense that he turns his psychosis towards doing good. His anger.
Oh, you mean Batman?
Yeah. He's like Dexter in that way. It's like he has an anger, a fury, and a drive, and instead of just lashing out everywhere,
he's still nuts.
He channels it. You know, he can be charming, and he can be, you know, so.
One of my favorite Adam West things. You want to talk about a tribute? You know, as I always go on that.
Oh no! It's not the GIF, is it?
No.
Okay, thank
God. You know, I always go on as Kevin Conroy is Batman to me. They did an episode of the animated series called Beware the Grey Ghost. And Batman, played by Kevin Conroy, meets up with his childhood hero who's an actor from a TV show called The Grey Ghost.
Played by Adam West. I need to watch those.
I have them all. They are fantastic.
I'm still making my way through. Was it Clone Wars and Rebel? Yeah. I'll get to it.
Yeah, I know. I know your pain, but it's beautiful because it's Adam West playing. It's so meta and beautiful the way they did it. So.
For people who don't know, you're like, oh, that's a nice episode. For people who do know, like, oh,
yeah. It's everything you want. You know, it's such a fitting tribute, and of course, Mayor West of Quahog. What the crazy brilliant turn!
I mean that and the effeminate cow are my two favorite. I'm just gonna have myself a little treat over here. They don't use the cow very often.
No.
And occasionally, I guess third in line would be the bird that would go ha ha ha. That's it. And then he was gone.
Yep.
You know.
But the fact that they said, you know, he was so game for anything on that show.
Yeah, you think, you know, he's a guy in his mid-80s. He won't go for anything.
He won't get it.
No,
you know?
he's gonna. No, he went for it.
Yeah, they say like there was a bit where he said, you know, don't take away my taffy because Adam West is a man who loves his taffy. But he would go on for 4 minutes, and it's genius.
Well, that's just the same as when Peter like stubs his toe and he goes ooh, and you're like, okay,
yeah.
And 2 minutes later, you're back to laughing again because, like, wow, they're really doing this.
You take it until it stops being funny, and then you push it until it's funny
again. Exactly.
And then you push it until it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, Adam.
Oh, Adam. Oh, Adam.
Oh, Adam. So,
and also, let's talk about the other O.
Okay.
Carrie Fisher.
Well, okay, yeah. She's been gone for a while.
She's been gone. We got as if we're entitled to her autopsy. I mean, I guess it's a matter of public record, and that's why we get to know this.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, she went out happy, I guess, or who knows?
Well, here's the thing. She was a very, very outspoken. She was an addict. She was a drug addict,
and struggling with mental illness.
And
one of the key signs of someone who's, even if they're diagnosed, self-medication.
Yeah.
I know a couple of people that perhaps have some underlying mental issues, and it's kind of dealt with a lot of drinking. She just had a little more access, apparently, to more of the good stuff.
Yeah, and she was not shy about saying that, you know.
Right, it's not like it's a deep, dark secret that we've revealed with the autopsy.
Right.
It's like, I'd be surprised if there wasn't. And quite frankly, there was that meme going around. Who cares that she? I mean,
it's sad.
And like, I'm not personal friends with Carrie Fisher. Therefore, my appreciation and love for her is her work. Is her work good? Yes. If she was on drugs at the time she did that work, does that make me like the work any less? Fuck no.
No.
Nothing at all.
Every album in the 60s you'd have to discount. You know, every Beatles album except for, you know, Meet the Beatles.
Well, as soon as, what is it, Rubber Soul or Revolution, after that it's like, well, I guess I can't like any more Beatles after that, because apparently they were doing drugs and I just don't approve.
Right. I had my brief tenure in college, I got into it with a professor because he asked for somebody, he was like, I don't even remember what class it was, because he looked like he was a gym teacher. He was like a big, you know, buff workout kind of dude. And he put to the class, he said,
"Don't body shame, man. Don't body." Big buff guys can be just like
be
really
sensitive too,
just like
man.
really super hot pretty girls can be smart. Right. Big buff guys can be intelligent.
Well, he was smart.
Too.
He was a college professor.
Yes.
But he put to the class, name someone who. It was something like name someone who had a distinct effect on society, like a person. And I said John Lennon. And I meant one of the greatest songwriters, poets, you know, writers, activists in the world. And he said, well, you know, he was on drugs most of that time, so I don't know if that counts, but I'll allow it. I was like, what are you talking about?
What does that have to do with anything?
What does that have to do with anything? The work has to stand on its own. Yes, we have... That gets in the gray area with, you know, some people doing bad things.
Well, right. They assume that, like, I have now done a drug, therefore I will do horrible things, lie, cheat, steal, murder. Yes, that does happen. Guess what? It also happens with people who are completely sober.
Right.
Drugs just...
I mean, yes, saying... like,
I'm completely high as fuck right now.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Like saying,
well, I don't share needles, so get your own.
Like saying, it is almost hypocritical to say, to accept what Carrie, you know. Well, I guess no, it's not. I was going to say, like, comparing like Carrie Fisher to like Bill Cosby.
He's not a drug addict. He uses drugs to rape women. There's
but I mean,
comparison at all.
Taking the person over the art, you know, like, because you know what I'm saying? Because
yes, the Cosby Show still stands
I have chosen
for,
to not listen to his stand-up anymore because of his actions, and it's almost hypocritical to say I am not going to, you know, watch Carrie Fisher's work, but it's not. It's different. You know?
It's yeah.
You know,
basically,
she never hurt anybody.
No, of course,
other than
she
herself.
hurt herself and maybe whoever she was married to or dating.
Well, yeah.
You know.
I mean,
I'm sure Paul Simon has a few stories. But
yeah.
Yeah, but they you know, they made up and things were okay.
Right.
Yeah, basically my thing is, we'll take Bill Cosby for example. I think maybe I have like one CD of like the best of his stand-up or something. I can't remember what I have. I was never really that big of a Cosby fan, but that money has already been spent before. Will I listen to it now? If I had the hankering, sure, because it is what it is. But I will not put one dime into his pocket or into a company that associates with him.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. So, I'm taking the step. I'm not going to listen to his stand-up. And his stand-up was brilliant. It was game-changing, groundbreaking stand-up. But it is tarnished. It is tarnished.
It's
at the
absolutely
time. I mean, I
tarnished.
guess it's kind of
even with it was a deadlocked jury, a hung jury. Was it a hung jury?
It was deadlock.
Deadlock.
Yeah.
They couldn't. I'm like, wow.
Really? Wow.
Okay.
There's some shitty lawyers.
I mean,
again.
I'm
And again, that is one case. That's not the whole thing.
There's a preponderant. I mean, if there was only like 3 people saying he did this, I'd be like, some people are kind of star fuckers. They want to get in the spot. But when you've got 40
to
and quite
50?
frankly, even if it's just one, you
have to believe.
Yeah, the problem is that, yes, sometimes people, men and women, make up stories.
Absolutely. And I'm sure not every one of those women is legit. But
Actually,
it doesn't.
I can't remember anything about the detail. I just read the headline and went, okay, a woman is actually going to jail for 2 years for lying about being raped. I didn't read the story. I just was scrolling through headlines on CNN. And I went, good.
I don't disagree with that at all.
I mean,
yes, we have to believe women when they say that they've been assaulted. We have to.
And I'd like to think that when she said that, she was believed, and when they investigated, they went, "Oh,
but
no,
if it comes out that she lied about that
that hurts everybody,
and especially the man. The man his life is ruined.
Well,
if he's
it ruins the man, but it also ruins future women who see that and who see this hung jury in the Cosby case and go, "Oh, yeah, I was raped last week. I'm not gonna say anything because look, if this, I just don't. I'll just put it behind me and let it go." And no,
we can't set that precedent.
Men are real shit sometimes.
Yeah, it sucks. Men really suck and have fucked a lot of stuff up.
That's why it's, let's turn it over to the ladies for a while. The future is female.
Well, we know that.
The future of at least the superhero film is female.
Well, before we get to that, let's tangent off of the Carrie thing into the other big doings in the Star Wars universe.
We're going to get Arrested Development references in the new young Han Solo film.
Well, no, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not, because that was the whole problem. So,
I have it on good authority that young Han now says, "Sit on it, Chewie." It's in the script. No.
Why is Floyd the Barber in the back of...
Oh, wow, going deep.
Going deep.
Good grief.
Yeah, so Lord and Miller, who directed the Lego Movie and Captain America Civil War.
Why did they leave? I don't know.
Okay,
do you know?
I have read what happened.
Okay.
They did not leave. They were let go.
Oh.
And I heard, from what I understand, it was they were trying to go a little lighter and fun with it, which is great.
Okay.
But they were going too far.
They were making it more of a comedy.
Comedy, almost likened what I read today was to Ace Ventura, like goofy comedy. And
no.
Luckily, what I read today was the first person who was uncomfortable with that was Alden Ehrenreich, who's playing Han, and he was like, "I don't know about this." And
Han was never
no. You want improv on set? It's sounds like they were trying to make an Adam McKay, Will Ferrell movie, and you can't do that.
Thank God they stopped that.
Right,
that would have been a death knell. Well,
yes.
not a death knell.
Let's
face it. We'll come and see.
No. You can't. You won't kill Star Wars, but
you'll make a really crappy Star Wars film.
And but there's no way that Kathleen Kennedy, to begin with, and Disney is going to let that happen. There's no way.
Thank God.
Yes. You let Donald Glover shape his character, and you let him come up with lines, and you help with him with his input, but you do not turn Han Solo into a goofball, and you don't take a Lawrence Kasdan script and riff on it.
Right. I look at it as kind of like a bobsled race. Your character is the sled, and you can kind of tilt left, tilt right, but you're always in the slot. You're always in the groove.
Yes, I agree.
You can go a little left, but you can't go wee and shoot up into the air and make, the 40-year-old virgin Han Solo guy or something like that. Okay, that makes sense. And the thing is that film probably would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But not the film.
Those guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
The Lego Movie is brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny and it's brilliant, but you can't do that with Star Wars, especially with Han Solo. I think a comedy set in the Star Wars universe could be possible.
Yeah.
You just can't do it with Han Solo.
But you can't do it. Well, you really can't do it with any existing characters, or existing characters where their story or their personality has been fleshed out too much.
Of course, you can't take the beloved character. And make him...
R5D4. Sure, we know he has a bad motivator. Other than that, what the fuck?
There is actually it's a Lego one, but there's a Star Wars Lego cartoon that is goofy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely goofy. It's not canon. It's a yuck. It's a side thing.
And that, like I said, that could where you can't do that with Han Solo.
So now Opie, is directing.
Well,
and he's a good director. I mean,
he's a great director.
Everyone thinks, what the hell? No, he's actually a solid. He's been directing solidly for 35 years.
Right.
Wasn't he Cocoon? He was Cocoon, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that was
Cocoon Backdraft.
mid-80s. He's been.
I mean, the Grinch for what it was, but he's a good director.
And the Da Vinci Code stuff.
Da Vinci Code.
So he's got the he's got the directorial chops.
And what was his first major film that he was in?
American Graffiti with
directed by George Lucas.
But with who was he with in there?
With Harrison
Ford, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a rather pedigreed choice that they made.
It was funny,
and it's fabulous that he was willing to I wasn't in on pre-production for. He was willing to step in.
It's
not
pre-production; it's production. They have been shooting.
Well, I would say
while.
he was not in at pre-production.
Yes.
He was willing. I mean, that's like asking, "Hey, Steven Spielberg." I mean, not that he's that big, but he's a named director. He's a named director that like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, we're halfway through the process. We fired. Would you come in? Not many directors be like, no. If I'm going to work on a film, I'm going to shape it from the ground up.
Yeah,
and the fact that he was willing to come in and save this, but he's probably also very good friends with Lucas. And,
he is, yeah,
and with everybody.
Well, this went fast because it was like Tuesday they announced Lord Miller were let go,
and Thursday
and Wednesday it was like, oh, rumors are around that so-and-so is going to take over, and Ron Howard is in the thing. And I was like, well, he'll never do that. I was like, that just doesn't seem like a thing. Yeah. And boom, drop the hammer. I mean, like I said, they're in production. They have been shooting for several
Well, you know
weeks.
why it happened so quickly? Because every day on set, they're probably burning a minimum of like $50,000 at least. If they're at like Pinewood, it's not like Pinewood goes, oh, you're not going to shoot today? Fine, we won't charge you. Of course not.
Not only that, the release date is less than a year away.
Yeah.
It's May 25th.
I mean, they got to get through production to get into post.
Yeah.
All the computer graphics guys are going, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This
is not a saga movie, but this is going to be a heavy effects movie.
Yeah. I've got a lot of eyes to CG. So chop.
And
has he done anything that's heavy CGI? I don't think he has.
I don't know.
He's done,
Well, let's go to the IMDb.
We're going to pause right now and check the IMDb. And we're back.
And through magic, we're back. So scrolling through, he's got that Genius. He's executive producer on a show called Genius, which is well,
I'm talking about directing.
Okay.
Has he directed any heavy CGI?
No. It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's done a lot of TV. He's been executive producing a lot of television.
Well, he got started.
He's producer.
In TV.
Let's see, producer. He's doing a lot of producing and not a lot of directing, it looks like, in the last few years. Cinderella?
Well, maybe that's why his schedule was available.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's taken the focus, I mean, keep in mind, what was it, 20 years between the penultimate and final Kubrick film? Not that Ron Howard's an auteur of the scale of Stanley Kubrick, but it's just a matter of the right project and the right time, and if your schedule allows it. There are some directors that I've got my next 3 projects laid out, so sorry, I don't have any time.
Well, the last thing he directed was the Beatles documentary. Okay, he did In the Heart of the Sea. Okay, yeah, that's that's a big CG movie. That was the pseudo Moby Dick movie, like big giant whale movie, came and went, did no box office.
Yeah.
I think it was it Chris Hemsworth? Yeah.
It probably did more money than the BFG.
Well, that was Spielberg too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the
that came
BFG
in.
died.
Oh, he did Rush. He
Oh.
did that car movie.
Speaking of films that absolutely died, our prediction came pretty much true.
Which one?
The Mummy.
Oh yeah.
Death. I
Dead.
mean, it's still it'll cross the 100 million mark.
But it cost
but
200 million to make.
internationally, and yeah,
Domestically, it.
and that sucks because I really would like to see a Universal, classic monster universe being created with crossovers and expansions and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about it. They made a Tom Cruise film
Yeah,
instead
and you
of a
can't-
Mummy film.
Right. And I think that's what happened. People would like, oh, I don't want to see Tom Cruise do that.
I mean, he's good at what he does. But
Yeah, those movies are impressive,
I've
but
been
he's-
seeing him do what he does for 25 years. I mean,
And he, when he started, he wasn't just doing that. I mean, watch A Few Good Men. He's a brilliant actor in that. He's playing a role, and he's not just hanging on the airplane.
What other film with Tom Cruise was absolutely brilliant, and he was brilliant in it?
I disagree.
Not Saint Elmo's Fire. He wasn't in that.
No,
What's that other
yeah.
one? No.
Yeah, he was pretty good in that, but that's a different.
That's a
argument.
All right, let's get back to Young Han. All right, so
Yeah.
it's back on track.
Well,
They
we'll
haven't-
see.
they haven't- they- theoretically back on track. They haven't changed the release date.
Not that I've seen.
Which I think would be a mistake because usually a lot of these big films, other studios are like, all right, they've announced, all right, we'll do this because they want to have the biggest film that weekend.
Yeah.
And none of them are going up against a Star Wars film.
Right. And
Unless it's counter programming. Now, of course, they'll do, what is it, Girls Night Out, R-rated comedy.
Yeah.
You can counter program that against a Star
and
Wars
I get
film.
that, and you should.
Right,
You should.
but you don't
absolutely
put, you don't put a superhero film against a Star Wars film.
No.
Yeah, that's.
Well, it's just bad business. Yes, you don't want to. I think you don't want to piss the fans off. You don't want to make them choose and make a fight
Right.
out of it. I think what they were trying to do. I think the precedent they were trying to set was, which is kind of silly, considering going forward. But the Saga films, they are doing the Christmas. I think they were trying to make the standalones the May. May obviously is. I always rail about it on.
Yes, I
the
know.
May 25th is actual Star Wars Day, and that's what they're doing. I think they were trying to do that, so they're kind of stuck. They can't bump it back to August to give that 6 months or whatever. So they gotta just plow through.
They
it.
could, but it would cause a lot of
Yeah, it would kind of
problems.
throw whatever plans they had in.
Yeah,
because
like I said, other studios, once they hear a date, they'll populate around so they don't have to compete. So if you need to change your date, now you look and go, well, let's see, Warner's doing that there. That crap. There's no weekend that we can go on this where we are definitely going to be absolutely dominant.
right.
So we'll see. We'll keep the casting. I'm solid with, except I don't know about Woody Harrelson, man.
It depends on what he's doing. I mean,
I got nothing against Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
I just don't see Woody Harrelson in the Star Wars universe.
I'm concerned that he's going to be the same guy he is in the Hunger Games, and he's good in the Hunger Games. He's the
Having never seen any of the Hunger... I'm sorry, Amber, I never.
yeah. He's the her mentor who won the Hunger Games one year, which fucked him up because he basically had to kill everybody else, and now he's a drunk and he's rich. He's saved in that thing.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if he's that guy. He's the gruff mentor.
We'll see. I mean, he's got range. He's come a long way since that bar in Boston. So
Yeah,
we'll-
yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It seems like bad casting to me, but then again, I was also concerned about Heath Ledger. Also concerned about Michael Keaton.
Well, we've also got Emilia Clarke in the movie from Game of Thrones. We don't know who she's playing.
I don't have an opinion about her. I mean,
Well,
she's
I mean,
awesome as Khaleesi.
Yeah, and I don't know how she was in the Terminator film.
The Terminator.
She was in Genesis as Sarah Connor.
Have I seen Genesis?
No, nobody did.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
I haven't.
I'm. It's done. No matter what you do, Doomsday, or what's it called? Judgment Day is going to happen.
Yeah.
We finally fixed the future. No, you didn't. Something happened, and now it's going to happen.
That's
It's
the problem
like,
with time travel.
I get it. It's like you can't fight the future.
Right,
You know?
right. And the 2 movies were brilliant, and stop after that.
Yeah. T2 was wonderful, groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Liquid metal, anamorphic. Oh,
Yeah.
My girlfriend took me to every time I was feeling down, like, let's go see T2. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Probably saw that in the theater 5-6 times. Just love that. What else you got?
Well, some TV news.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is this the home box office news?
This is the home box office news. This is one of
I don't know what they're. Okay.
I'm so torn. HBO announced, I guess last week, that they're doing a Watchmen television series. And part of me is like, that's amazing.
Watchmen prequel to the film.
I don't know. Is that what it is?
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess it would kind of have to be.
It would have to be. I wouldn't mind seeing the superheroes, back in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, the original Watchmen. Yeah,
exactly.
the Minutemen.
Is that what they were called?
They were the Minutemen. They were. I think they were actually called the Watchmen in the book.
No.
So yeah, it's
Who
the
watches
Minutemen.
the Watchmen?
Who watches the Watchmen? So yeah, the original, when the comedian and the Silver Spectre original.
Because you'd have to, because none of those actors are. Well, you know what? If it's on HBO, maybe some of them would come back. But if you're doing a prequel,
I think what they're going to have to do is, I think it's going to be, to get the fans, it's going to be right in the middle, in between all that. It's not going to be the original unless they do flashbacks, which is I'm cool with, or do simultaneous. Show something, show the 40s and then show, I guess, what would be the equivalent of the 70s, 80s, where Night Owl before he retires and Rorschach at his peak and when Silk Spectre.
Okay.
I could deal with that before they have the falling out that leads to the book.
And quite frankly, Watchmen, the film, should have been a 10-part HBO miniseries. They could have fleshed it out a lot more. I was okay with the film. But
some of it's
that's
really
because
good.
I still haven't read the damn graphic novel.
Yeah, and I have. I've read it multiple times, and it's good and weirdly faithful to the book, and weirdly not faithful, which is so strange to. And anyone who's seen it and read it knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They get to the same result by changing the means.
Right.
For the same reason.
Squid,
no big
nuclear,
squid, and they don't abduct the scientists and all this stuff. And I kind of get it, and I kind of don't. But, it is pretty good. My hang-up with the TV series is the showrunner.
Who's the showrunner? God. It's not him, is it?
It is him. Our least favorite guy. Not Zack Snyder. Even worse.
Oh, God, not Michael Bay.
Even worse.
Worse than Michael Bay? Yeah. There is no such thing.
Well, worse in a different way. Less worse, but still bad.
All right, who?
Damon Lindelof.
He is slightly redeemed in my eyes because of what he did with The Leftovers.
Okay, yes, you did say that.
That finale is perfect. I wouldn't have changed a tiny thing about that. It was perfect. Now, even an idiot can have a success,
Right.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So I'm saying that you're not redeemed, but I see hope. We'll see what your next project is. I'm still fuming over Prometheus.
Right.
In spite of the fact that I hate that film.
And me too. Same thing. And I will say, if you subtract the last season and the finale of Lost, the show was amazing. I mean, I was glued to it because it was so well done, and I had no idea what was going on.
The problem is that it got built up, not necessarily by the show itself, but by the fans, that there was no ending that could have been satisfying.
Absolutely.
For
totally
even a
agree,
majority of people, let alone everybody. And I get that. I'm Switzerland when it comes to Lost. Yes. Oh, the whole thing was a big plug in a cave in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of didn't
What the
get a
hell
lot
is
of
that
it.
all about? I mean, they should not have shown any of it.
Yeah.
They should have just shown they went into the cave and then it fit, don't show. And that's the thing that was perfect about The Leftovers. You got answers, but they didn't show everything, so it left it satisfying, but perhaps ambiguous for some people. It's, it's not genius finale on the scale of like Sopranos.
Right.
Infuriating.
For most people, yeah.
Well, I remember friends of mine had me over to watch it. They had already seen it. I was watching it like the evening, the next day or something like that, and I stayed off, and they were watching me pretty close at the end, and I went, oh wow, the credits? What? And they're looking like, ha 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 ha, it's just a blackout. And I went, oh, but after I sat with it, I went, yeah, that's exactly what it's like to be in Tony's position. You never know who's coming at you. The way they set it up, he's looking around, and who knows what happens in that. I know that he lived, but it's meant to show you his mindset at all times. He has all this money and power, but he can't truly enjoy it, because he's always in danger of getting whacked.
Yeah.
And they just cut it off. I thought that was damn brilliant. Side note, Sopranos just might be coming back.
How?
Prequel.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only
David
way.
Chase has said, actually, he didn't say the Sopranos are coming back. He says, I could definitely do something with those characters, but it would be early stuff, like when June was, a young kid, when was it Nancy Marchand played? I can't remember her name. Liv?
I don't know.
I can't remember. But basically, the generation before Tony's.
So like a Godfather 2 kind of thing.
Yeah, and maybe some of the older characters in Sopranos would be in there as younger characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be good. Yeah, if you tried to go forward after the Sopranos finale, you'd immediately have to kill off Tony, obviously.
Immediately, yeah. You would have to answer that question at the end of the episode.
And then at the end of it, it's like, that was the heart of the entire show.
And
there'd be no show without Tony Soprano.
Right.
That particular show, you cannot do without...
I doubt you would get any cast member to say, no, we're not going forward without
Yeah,
Gandolfini.
no.
Gonna...
Nobody would want to come back
No.
for that. I mean, a couple, whoever played Meadow, Jamie Lynn
Sigler,
she's like, I'm not getting a lot of work. Sure, I'll do it.
Honestly, I bet she wouldn't even. I bet out of respect, she'd say
I know
no.
Edie Falco would say, "Fuck no,
fuck you."
I don't care how many.
Yeah.
I don't care how many Emmys that might be in the offing for it. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but David Chase would never do that.
Right.
He said absolutely not. There's no possible way I would never do that. But maybe a prequel.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
And the fact that it's him doing it and not someone trying to cash in. That's
like if they
why
said
it would work.
HBO is doing oh wow, I can't believe David. Oh no, it's not David Chase. I'd be like,
Well,
I'm
fuck
out.
that. Yeah.
I'm out.
No
Done.
one. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
That's a money grab.
It'd be
yeah.
like if Better Call Saul wasn't done by Vince Gilligan.
Right.
I'd be like, no.
Who cares? Yeah.
Which, by the way, dude,
I know.
get your shit together on Breaking Bad.
I know, so I can get the Better Call Saul.
Oh, Salamanca.
Get your house in order.
Hey, have you finished listening to the new Roger Waters?
I have not.
Dude, get on
I
that
have
shit.
to, yeah, because we're going to see it.
It's that's right. What next?
Couple weeks.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
It's about a month. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. So it's gonna be a thing. But let's face it. I think we'll probably get at most 4 songs off that record.
You think he's not doing the whole thing?
I don't think so. Although I could check a set list. There's the website where people Or we'll post the set
Most
list?
of the time, I will not look at something like that until after the show. Like when Rush Tours came around, the last
you wanna be
the last thing I
surprised.
wanted to know was what that was the whole point of going to see. So what are they going to play next?
That's true. Some bands,
but this is a lot different.
Some bands will just kind of like riff at it, but other band, like when I was touring with the Beautiful South, they had one set list. They did the same set every single night.
Right.
Except for one show in Toronto where they switched out a song during the second encore. And it made it pretty boring for bootleggers out there. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like...
Well, I'll tell you, back when I was touring, when we were doing the Acres stuff, we tried it both ways. Like, we tried winging it, which didn't work for that band, and we tried like changing the set list every show, which was okay. Like, they all had their merits. We did that for a while where we had the same set, like we had the set list, and it made for a better show because like the transitions were smooth. We knew what was coming. There was no dead spot. So,
but the problem with that is that if you're playing in a localized area, if you got fans,
yeah.
See, that's what happened. That's what happened with, in a sense, with the very first band I worked with, Assassin. They would change up their set list a bit, but they would play every single weekend at Straight Ahead Sound.
See, you can't do that.
And people went, I can't make it this weekend. They'll be there next weekend, whatever.
And I know what they're doing anyway.
Exactly.
Whereas,
well, no, they would vary the set list. They would do that, but knowing that the band would just be there next weekend, they can go, I'll pass this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas some other bands, they'd play maybe twice a month. They'd be honing their craft. They'd be rehearsing, maybe recording, and they would play twice a month. Those shows were always packed.
Because you never know.
That's right.
Most places won't even book us, like with the Dirt Poets. They won't book us like every 5-6 weeks. You know? And
yeah. Gary didn't really run Straight Ahead Sound that way. Let's put it this way. It's like, really, the whole band will perform for $300. Sure, we'll go ahead and we'll have them in there. I got to get two to three bands on stage every weekend, and we know that there'll be a certain number of people there. And there always was.
Yeah.
But.
So we would, we also, like with the Dirt Poets, I mean, it's a cover band, but we don't go in with a set list, like, at all. I mean, we have our set, but we don't write out a set list and go with it. We just kind of read the room. And for that kind of band, that works.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because it's like, if you have something on the set list and the room is not ready for it or aren't going to care, you don't do it.
You're not ready for Tales of Topographic Oceans, man.
Yeah, it's like, if they're not dancing, you're not going to play a dance song until you want, or...
Fine, you're going to get Huey Lewis, and you're going to like it.
Right.
So, suck it.
We're not going to play the heavy Flogging Molly song in the first set because people will get shut down. We're going to play the easy Tom Petty stuff and the Otis Redding, and ease into the
Ease
night,
into
so.
it. Yeah, I don't think... Roger. Well, you know what? This is his first tour in 25 years where he has new material to perform.
Right.
I may
build the whole thing around it.
It's entirely possible. You know what? I don't think I'm going to check the set list. I want to be surprised.
Cool.
I mean,
well, I'm definitely going to sit down because I don't want to listen to it in the car while I'm doing other things. I want to sit down for the way you were supposed to do with Pink Floyd albums and put headphones and listen to the whole thing.
It's not trying as hard as, let's just say, the post Waters Floyd tried to be Pink Floyd, but sound wise,
ironically it sounds more like Pink Floyd than any other stuff.
It's nestled right in between Wish You Were Here and Animals. It's very right in there. The sound is very much Wish You Were Here, Animals.
Yeah.
The lyrics aren't exactly quite up to Pink Floyd par, in my opinion. But, but it's some good stuff. And you got Nigel Godrich, the guy that works with Radiohead all the time. A band which I fully admit, they're geniuses, and I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't,
I don't get it, and I don't care. Unfortunately, people think they're the greatest thing that's ever happened, and I don't get it.
I look at it as I don't talk down trigonometry because I don't understand it. I just know that it's there, it serves a purpose, and it's very useful. So I will not say trig sucks. I will just say I suck at trig. So I suck at listening to Radiohead. I'm awful at listening to Radiohead. I can't comprehend it the way apparently other people do. So I'm perfectly happy to listen to my other 17,000 bands.
Exactly.
Gosh, Michael, then what do you listen to? Well, I don't know. I got about 10,000 fucking
anything
CDs.
else.
Yeah, pretty much anything.
Another TV thing.
Yeah.
Netflix,
God bless Netflix.
All hail Netflix, has teamed up with the Jim Henson Company.
They're bringing back Fraggle Rock.
I think somebody else is bringing back Fraggle Rock.
I was joking. I could care less about Fraggle Rock.
No, they're doing a series, a prequel series of The Dark Crystal.
Okay.
I am vaguely excited about it, just for the fact that they're doing it, because I'm so in on that kind of stuff. Like, let's something brilliant like that. It's not my favorite movie.
Let's expand the universe.
Yes. Let's it's puppets. It's let's keep puppetry alive and make a thing out of it, and let's take this brilliant thing.
I don't think I've ever seen it,
Really?
or if I have, it was so long ago. It has left no. There's a journey involved, I think.
It's the two little, what they call gelflings. The girl looks like kind of a fairy, and they have a little fuzzball, kind of a dog thing, and they're trying to get the shard of the Dark Crystal to a shard piece to the actual giant Dark Crystal to, before the moons align or something. And there's like the weird, I forget what they're called. They're like monks almost, and the Skeksis. That's what everyone knows. The big, crazy, like vulture-headed guys who are like big suit, walk around Muppets. It's kind of weird, but the achievement of it is amazing, and it just begs for expansion in the universe.
You know what it begs for expansion along those lines?
What?
I want the Labyrinth world expanded.
Yeah. It was kind of along the same lines as that.
I mean, why not a young Jared or not even Jared at all? Make it have nothing to do at all, with the previous.
I still say you do it, and you have Jennifer Connelly be the Goblin Queen, and have just flip it, and do something to that effect. I think that would be pretty.
Or have her be the mother with the kid. At the beginning as doing a cameo, and it's her kid that gets sucked in. Not because of I'm banished. None of that. We're not doing a remake.
No, but just do a different thing.
There's a lot of ways.
Just go into that world.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear the Hoggle puppet has retired from puppeting and just doesn't want to come back. But then again, if Rick Moranis can come back after 20 years. Why not the Hoggle puppet?
I still haven't seen that. Did he do the thing yet?
No, as far as I know, no. Apparently, it's
Canadian Red Nose Day. Is what it is.
And
he's bringing back. Him and Dave Thomas are bringing back Bob and Doug, and that's huge because he was like, "I'm out." He's like,
that's like Spinal Tap returning, which they do every once in a great while.
And he was like, "I'm not." Why would I get in this reboot of Ghostbusters? He said, "Who wants that?"
He dodged that one, didn't he?
Well, he dodged I still think it's a great movie.
Oh, so do I.
But
it's just that we apparently, and at least in our circle, we're in the minority, because it
baffles me.
From what I understand, it cost so much to make that the studio went no. They're placing a lot of the blame on Feige. It's like, I don't give a crap about the budget. I care about the film. The budget is just, ephemera. It's fun trivia.
Yeah.
I'm judging what's on the screen. I thought it was a fine film.
I thought it was
Could it have been funnier? Probably. Could it have been worse? Oh, of course it could have been
Yeah, it could have
worse.
been terrible.
It was a fine film.
Yeah.
We're not going to get a sequel. I mean, that's just done.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But we got Wonder Woman. So hopefully that's going to, well, women can't carry. No.
You, sir, are wrong.
You wrong. and wrong. I'm hoping that the success of Wonder Woman will ripple through the DC universe, and they'll change their dark, just touch it.
Oh yeah,
Bring
they're going to look at that and go, oh crap.
Yeah,
What
it's
have we
like
been doing?
it's okay if Batman's dark.
Yeah,
Let him be dark.
stop with fucking Superman. being
Superman
dark.
shouldn't be. He's basically a god. What
Yeah.
does he have to be bitchy and scowling about?
Right.
Come on,
That's the whole point. Christopher Reeve was the perfect Superman because he was,
He was
invulnerable.
he was secure in his, I don't know, alien super god status.
He had nothing to worry about, so
Right.
why be dour? There was
Yeah.
no reason. And yes, let's get a nice gritty Affleck Batman movie, but that's not what Batgirl needs to be. Let Joss make that fun.
Yeah.
That's what that needs to be. Let Batgirl have some lightness to it, because that's what that needs to be. If they go with like the young-ish Barbara Gordon, do that. And hopefully the Wonder Woman thing, because I know they're doing reshoots on Justice League, and I have a feeling they're going to just shove Gal Gadot in as much as they can.
Yeah, and hopefully she's getting paid a lot better for Justice League.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that she only got $300,000. Now, she's not a name actor, and I don't know how the scale works or everything.
Yeah.
But okay, she did her one crappy paycheck film that was a huge success. Her asking price must be a minimum of $10 million now.
Yeah, for Wonder Woman 2, she has to. I guarantee her, like Patty Jenkins will be like, no, you're going to pay her. You're going to pay me, but you're going to pay her, or we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And remember all those hundreds of millions of dollars you just made?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Good luck trying to replicate that again without your star, without your director. Directors unfortunately can be replaced, and people can kind of imitate tone, but she created she set the tone.
Yeah.
Patty Jenkins set the tone with Wonder Woman.
There was chemistry there between
Exactly.
the two of them.
That's why Scorsese is worked with I've already forgotten his name, De Niro, so much.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then DiCaprio is like, all right, we've got a shorthand. We know what's going on.
Right.
Go. And it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's why directors, that's why Johnny Depp works
With Tim Burton so much.
all the time. Speaking of Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
he got on stage at Glastonbury over in England.
Did he really?
Yeah. He had something to say.
What did he say? I didn't even see it.
Oh, you
No,
didn't.
I didn't.
Let's just say it was all over Fox News.
Oh.
He made a comment along the lines of, "Hey, when was the last time an American president was assassinated by an actor? Maybe it's about time." At first I went, that's kind of clever. And then I went, oh, you said that in public? Oh, yeah. As much as I loathe Trump to my absolute core, I do not wish to have the man assassinated.
No, not at all. And no one should say that.
Yeah, that's...
He's a reprehensible human, but no one deserves that.
yeah.
And that,
Well,
and not for nothing. Well, yeah,
he's one... He's...
still,
I know,
but
you
and
don't.
the problem is,
but you respect the office. Would you want anybody in that office
No.
to be assassinated? Never.
and the bottom line of that is that does not help the cause.
Yeah, exactly. It's
All
like-
that does is fuel the opposition.
Well, yeah, it allows Fox News to go. So much for the tolerant left. Mm-hmm. Promoting assassins, like, right, because when one person says a dumbass thing, it goes to everybody. But one of yours goes to jail for fondling kids. Oh, that's just
Isolated.
one. That's isolated. That's just
Yeah.
one bad apple in the. See, that's
that's
the hypocrisy.
I very often argue with a he's not really right wing, but he's more of an NRA person, and it's like you can't say that one guy with a gun does not represent all the NRA, but all Muslims are terrorists. You can't say
That's
that.
right.
I'm sorry. That's
absolutely right.
Yeah.
My favorite argument, and it has yet to be refuted to any degree. You're right. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. However, a person with a gun allows that person to kill far more people quickly and efficiently.
Yes.
You know, after the driving and then machete attack in London, Trump goes off on, see how we're not having a debate about knives and cars? That's because they use those and not a gun. Like, yeah, and the death toll was significantly reduced.
Yeah, than a guy with an automatic weapon.
Yeah, because if that had happened over in America, where you could get armor-piercing rounds and 500 clip, banana, it just it's just baffling. I'm just saying,
just baffling.
They killed X number of people, and over in America, it would have been X times a factor of who knows what.
Exponentially more.
Exactly. So, but we're
it's so easy to get.
It's so easy to get slipped into politics. So, what else do you have, young Bauman?
You had said something about Johnny Depp. Oh, he also, I don't know if you saw it, he surprised the crap out of a bunch of people at Disneyland. And
in that kiosk?
No, well, he did that, but he also showed up
on
in the Pirates ride.
Yeah, that's right.
And people were like, what the fuck is going on?
Enjoy it while you can, man. That series is just played out.
But that character will never die now. And the biggest thing I respect about him is that he either stole or had them make a separate Jack Sparrow outfit, like full, complete out. And wherever he happens to be, at any given moment, he will throw it on and go to a children's hospital and just walk around and surprise people and just be that guy. And that is so amazing. Yep. Chris Pratt and Chris Evans also do that. Like they just show up as Star-Lord or Captain America and to kids' hospitals. They also had a bet over the Super Bowl because it was the Patriots and whoever his team was, Indianapolis or whatever, and the loser had to go in the other's costume or something like that. But they just both showed up in their regular costumes and stuff.
Oh, I like that. That's a good deal. Well, I remember Christian Bale showed up after the Aurora
the Aurora Theater thing, yeah.
And he visited, but he didn't make a big deal out of it.
He didn't say anything about it.
Right. That's what I appreciate.
Yeah, and Johnny Depp does the same thing. It's not a press op. It's I'm going to show up. He just shows up. He doesn't even tell anybody.
Right. It's not like, hey, look at all the good I'm doing. Like, yeah, you're doing
That's not
good,
why you're doing
but yeah. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention a huge album release that came out in the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. The new Big Boy solo record.
Okay.
From Outkast.
Yeah, no, I know who he is.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying. It's called Boomiverse.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Now you get it.
Now I get it.
Yeah. And we're still waiting for his partner to...
Andre?
We're still waiting for that solo record, but he said, I just got nothing to say. And you know what? Good for him.
Respect that.
If he had a level of excellence.
Again, and not a money grab.
Right, exactly. He had a level of excellence with Outkast. He's jumped in on some verses in other people's songs.
He's done other things. He did like a kids theater thing.
Oh yeah,
well, here in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Wendy Malconey was in it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I wanna definitely give a shout out to that record. It is awesome. Mm-hmm. The track "Chocolate" is my jam. I've listened to it about 1,000 times. It almost hurts my ears because the bass is so crisp. Okay. And the thump, I have to turn down the volume. It is so pristine. But the big surprise is one of the guest artists on one of the other tracks. You remember Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
Big Boy actually went and got...
Medication time. Medication time.
We ran out of time. I will tell you in 2 weeks.
The 9 Billion Names of the Pod was conceived, written, and performed by Michael Reed and Dan Bauman, with Abdul Benny Hassan as the sound of splintering wood. Research, transportation, and exasperated looks by Courtney Lonan. Technical assistance by Cubase, Pro Tools, Skynet, QLab, DThought, Big Brother, and Eddie your Shipboard Computer. Financial consideration provided by the Wayne Foundation, Stark Industries, the Piranha Brothers, and LexCorp. Legal counsel by the offices of Howard and Fine. Atomic battery to power, turbines to speed, ready to move out. Our intro music was written by Tim Akers. This podcast was sponsored by Deep Shag Records and is a production of Audio Primate. Throw us a couple stars on iTunes, why don't you? Listen, watch on YouTube, listen on SoundCloud, stream on Stitcher, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or email us, comlink@billionpod.com. Links Until this happens again, I'm Dan Bowman.
I'm Michael Reed.
Hello, Z.
Audio Primate.